Today we take a look back at Season 1 and open up for Season 2. I'm Mostly Average Matt and this is Planet Coaster Harder Mode. Hello and happy Friday everyone. We are back in our Planet Coaster Challenge mode on the harder difficulty. And we have just wrapped up Season 1 and we are getting ready to start Season 2 in this episode. But before we do that, I just want to do a quick stroll around the park and just kind of relive a little bit in what we did in Season 1. So I did try this in the last episode, but the frames per second was unbearable, so I chose not to put that footage in. So we're trying a different way. We're going to try through Shadow Play and see how that goes. Hopefully the audio is pretty decent because the frame rates usually come out pretty good. So here we are looking at our entrance to our park. When we first started this, it went straight down through what are now trees and bushes. You can still kind of see the pathway through here a little bit. We have our first ride that we built, the orbiter to the left. And then the entranceway, which was built in episode 5, which I'm still super happy with the way it came out. It just looks really cool with the letters, how they go up and over. They got the little roller coaster style. And then, of course, obviously it's part of Planet Coaster, so you have to put that in there. But we go in here, and if we stay really close to the right, we have one of the more recent works in the admin and first aid building. Which just kind of rounds out the whole area. You can see a little bit of Bubbles Playground, which we did somewhere in the middle. I don't remember what episode, but we do have this really nice look from the center entrance over the water fountain, a little bit of the shops. Not sure what's going on with those windows, but whatever. You got Bubbleshot coming up over the treetop. You have the game little stop there, and you can see a little bit of the carousel as well as the entrance to Bubbles Playground here on the side. So I think that really came out well. But if we can continue back around here, we do see the Golden Nook over here on the side, and that is our hotel that we built. That is now on the Steam Workshop, so I will add a link to the description down below. We also got the hot air balloons, which is part of Fireball, which is also on the Steam Workshop, so that's really exciting. So make sure to check those out if you are interested in adding those to your park. I did test them. They do fit down pretty easily. But going back over here, we do have the Orbiter, which is the Wild Blue, which was our first attraction and key attraction to getting the park started. Also the Navigator, which you can barely see through the trees with just a whirly rig. And like I said, when we first started this, the idea was get the Q rating up to 100%, try and make some money. Because it is not necessarily easy to make money in the harder difficulty at the beginning. So that was our goal. We also moved up here, and you see we got our wooden fence here. And that is because we used to have a carousel in this area that was taken out and moved, which is, now over in Bubbles Playground, which you cannot see from here, so we're not going to turn there. We continue down. We put in another ride that has also been removed, and the queue's still there, but the Insanity attraction, which is now named Vertigo, which we'll come up to a little later. We have a super unthemed restroom on this side, and then we have a Cycola that is not planned to stay in the park too much longer. It served its purpose, and it's hidden. Same with the kickflip, which was created all back in the 3rd episode of this series, and boy did that kickflip, that really set us off. Once we put the kickflip in, we got our little queue cover in here, we started making a ton of money, which allowed us to build the Fireball. So, like I said, this attraction is on the Steam Workshop, and everything's in here, so we can just kind of follow around. I did use a lot of terrain paint for this to cover the imperfections of the path, because you can see it right along here. You can see a fine line. It blends in so well that it doesn't even matter, but so this is not perfectly down through here, but you'll never be able to tell as long as you use the terrain paint to paint that in. I think it is a 19 by 10 square that it perfectly fits into. But you come right on up in here to our station, and you got a big center pole in the middle. So let's go ahead and we'll give this a quick ride. Not this one. We'll go with this one. We'll speed it up a little bit to get through. Compared to some other attractions, but you know, it does the job. It's got some decent results. Lateral G-force a little high, but it is a crazy Looney Turns, so we're not too concerned about that. If you come out, we got this cool, we'll go right through the train. We got a cool little way you can either exit to the right, you can exit to the left. We're going to go to the left because that takes us closer to what we are looking for next. Puts us right back out into the Golden Nook. And if we continue walking down here, we'll pass all these nice little buildings. You can see the carousel that was relocated here on the right. Got a nice little seating area, our game area also. But we got the Just a Memento, which is super terrible in terms of making money for us. We got an information stand that doesn't do much for us. And then we got some very, very empty display cases with the hat's fantastic. And I really don't know what's going on with these, but we'll figure that out later. We also did a self-care building, so it's got just a restroom as well as an ATM. And that was when I was really hoping to just be able to get people more money, because we were starting to see people just walking around without money, and then new people wouldn't come in. But you can also see we have the Invertigo, which is the insanity that we relocated. We got a nice little queue cover here. And this was the first attraction where we started adding in the, whatever these things are called, the priority pass entrances. And it really doesn't need it, but it has it to provide a little more value to the priority pass. And if we continue back over towards our first aid building, we got our entrance to Bubbles Playground, the path change, and we walk up past our carousel, and we will come up underneath the Bubbleshot roller coaster and see our first entertainment point, which is for a king coaster. And we named him the king himself, so he's walking around somewhere here. This guy is super happy. So is she. But we do have Paw Eats. That is probably one of my favorite builds here in this series. There's the king himself. And, you know, I put this on the workshop as well, so that's out there. It does have a restroom. It also has a staff building on the back. But, you know, I just think it fits into the area. It looks very, very nice. It meshes with the trees. It's a good forefront for the coaster. So, again, really happy. We do have our scissor ride. That is called Carbonator, and that was glitched out at one point, so that's currently not at Classic Prestige, which causes a little bit of an annoyance, but we were able to switch it out and get a new one in. We got some pip shots, and we got the Bubbleshot entrance, which we're going to make our way around to. We do have the coaster coming by, so we're going to have some bubbles to walk through. which is pretty nice. We also have our security officer. As this is near the end of the series where we completed this and put in a lot of heavy wooded work. We do need some more bushes in this area, which we may need to add those in here. But we do have Bubbleshot here. This also has a priority pass that we added in later in the season. So we are going to we'll take the priority pass. And it comes around. Interesting little door just to kind of fill in the space. And then a little place for our person that would scan our priority passes or figure out however that would work for this park. We get up to our entrance and we have one leaving. No, we need to get to it. Alright, so there is Bubbleshot. Again, pretty decent for a kids coaster. It has enough of the jankiness to feel like a true kids coaster because they're never truly that smooth. Parks are usually going to make it a little bit cheaper. They're not going that fast, so they don't need to worry about G-forces and whatnot as much. So I mean, it is a little high on the max lateral, but I think you would see something like that. Maybe a little high, but you know, I think it turns out pretty decent. It's also got the very high track scenery rating, which is awesome as well. And I forgot that I accidentally turned off Prestige, so I hope that doesn't mess with all of this. I turned it off when I was trying to set up. Let's see here. That doesn't matter. Don't know what that is. That we don't care about. Okay, so we need the reputation, the security features, staff management features need to be left on. Okay. Let's see. Did that? Okay, it still shows the classic, so that's perfect. So, yeah, I turned those off in another episode and I forgot to turn them back on, so that's alright. We walk back down the exit here of Bubbleshot and you see our Swift Drifter ride called Whirlpool. That was the last thing we completed in the last episode of Season 1. We're at classic status, yes. It's kind of got this old vintage style feel to it, which is fine. You know, I wanted something that had this feel. It is probably one of the more boring builds that we did, but it took a lot of work because I did all the supporting structure inside. If we zoom right along here, we have another entrance into Bubbles Playground. We come back up to our Invertigo, and you see now the Gulpy Speedway, which we can't take a ride on because I don't have any guests in the park. But you know, this took a long time to complete, and I think it was worth it. We have the Gulpy colors, which look a little odd in some instances, like this green. Why would you use this much green? Well, that's why, because it's the Gulpy colors. And there is a entertainment point in there for our racing Rex to make it through. We also got a little Gulpy sign. We added all these little planners in our last episode. We have billboards like you would see on the road. And I just realized the HUD's up. And you have the drink stands, which will hopefully be a little bit more popular when we start adding in Season 2. You come around, we got this big observation tower thing that is not functional for guests. I tried to make it functional in the episode that we built that, but it did not work out. but it does cover this entire area. It just kind of makes it stands out, so it's a iconic piece of the build. And as we come around here, you can start to see down like the pit row on both sides. We added it like a little VIP section, which is turned out a lot better because it's just out of basic shapes, and the cup holders are the pipe for the snowman, which is one of the most useful pieces in the game. We have another entertainment point here, which is made out of the Gulpy Energy colors. So that one looks a little bit nicer than the Gulpy Soda, I believe. We come back around here. You're on the back side of pit lane. It's also the exit for the pits, or exit for the attraction itself. So it's got all that. And then we come back over to our third and final entertainment point for Gulpy, and this is the Gulpy Slush, and this is one I think looks the best out of all of them. The colors seem to mesh a little bit better, but overall I'm pretty happy with all of them. We do have the cooling station as well, which is part of the Fireball, what is it? The Fireball Blueprint. And then as we come back down along, we have the Hot Dog House, which was also part of the Fireball Blueprint. And across the street, we have like a little garage area where we have a van that I guess they would use to take pieces. They have random cars that are stacked out. They also have a Gulpy vending machine that you would just find one of these at a gas station. There are no gas pumps, and that's just because I didn't want to take the time to build them, and you would think that they would take them out because you don't want people to play with them. So, but as you come down here, you see the Chops logo. So this is kind of made to be like a speakeasy. We have the different types of graffiti. We have some trash in the back of these buildings. Just kind of make it feel more like a backstage area, somewhere that you maybe shouldn't be. But all the way in the back here, we have the Chops restaurant entrance. So it's like a hidden restaurant. It has not been successful for us, probably because it's so far away, and it also is very expensive. So, wow, I just realized I never did this. Or did I? Oh, it is there. I just didn't care about it. That's fine. We don't need to worry about that. So yeah. So the entire park as a whole, yeah, I wish I would have been able to put this in the last episode, but fate just was not on our side. So here we are at the beginning of Season 2, finishing up Season 1, and, I think it's time that we take care of some park management. We are going to switch up, actually, before we get into that. We're going to switch up the format of the challenge mode for Season 2. So instead of doing the park management at the end, we are going to focus on the park management at the beginning. And the point of that is we really need to be aware of our money. Because we're going to make a lot of money when we first let people in. We are charging no longer for the attractions themselves. We are now charging for the main entrance. So we need to be very conscious of that so we don't lose money. We're going to make a ton of money at the beginning, but we're going to lose money once we get into the season. So we'll have to be very, very conscious of that before we start building and try and figure out maybe we'll need to make some changes and things like that. So if you watch any of my other series, I did start a new thing where, hey, if you're watching my video, I'm really happy. I want you to be a part of it. So if you guys are interested in being a part of the staff of one of my parks, make sure you leave it in the comment section. We actually have our first new staff member, and that is Julianne Rose, and she wants to be the head of security. So what I'm going to do, our security team members, our security guards, we've been pretty active in speaking about them, and some of them are very iconic. Like Gert, I talked about him a lot, Humberto the Third. I talked about him a lot in the beginning. We had a whole episode dedicated to security at some point, I think, or not necessarily dedicated, but that involved a lot of security. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to hire a new one, and we will go ahead and not click on the orbiter. Not click on the orbiter, please. This is going to be... Alright, this will be Julianne Rose. And I completely forgot what I need to do here. We need to... Where did Julianne Rose start to walk? There we are. Alright, nope, pause. Let's go ahead and get our Humberto. Oh, okay, we're going to go over here. So, we're going to get the colors here. We aren't going to do exactly the same. My salary is massive. Yes, you are making a lot of money. And this is going to stay the same. The goal is going to stay the same. And you can let me know what colors you want to be, because I am going to change it. There is going to be a similar color in all of the outfits so you fit into the park. So the gold is going to be the security patch with the threads on top. And then the front, I noticed that Julianne Rose's color that comes up when she posts on YouTube is a red color. So we will give red let's see. These are normally black, so I think we'll stay with the black there. Ooh, that red and that gold do not mix very well. Maybe we do it the other way around. Maybe we do it like this. Or that could be even... No, I don't know. I do like the red hat though. That's kind of nice. You know what? Let's just go with that. We'll keep the white shirt, the red shorts, and the red hat, and then obviously the gold badge up there as well. So I think that is good. Or do we switch it like maybe what we do is we do black, red, because that should be the same as everyone else then. Where is another security officer? Where is Humberto? Yeah, so alright, yeah, that looks good. I was afraid you wouldn't be able to see the color with the badge and the patch. But you know, I think it looks good. It also puts the red on the logo on the or the badge on the top too. So we'll go ahead and we'll get Julianne trained up as we go through. It'll probably take a couple episodes because I only check it so often. But Julianne's going to be free roaming. We're not going to worry about anything, any work rosters. So yeah, if you guys are interested in being a part of the park, let me know what position you want to be. And depending on, as long as I have spots available, and we will rename people if we need to, we'll go ahead and add you in. Let me know what colors. We'll get your uniform all set up. Like I said, I do want to keep at least one thing of the uniform similar, so it does look consistent in some aspect. So overall, that is a pretty awesome thing to have. But let's go ahead and get into our park management. So like I said, I did do some park management at the end of last season when we already cleared out our guests that never made it into the final episode because the frame rates were so bad. So we'll go through. We obviously don't have any guest summary. Our staffs are at 95%, and that's because they're so bored. So that will get going better. Our most profitable shop facility is the vending machine because it's losing the least amount of money. which is funny. So we don't need to worry about any of this stuff at the moment. Our finances are going to look terrible because we're losing money. We're losing we're losing $6,000 every month. We don't have any research. We don't have any marketing. Our staff, like I said before, no one's going to have high. Somehow security is still normal, even though there's no one around. So, okay. We don't have any guests, and our attractions, this is really where our work is. So like I said, we're not going to charge per attraction anymore. So we got these going. We're just going to start opening everything. Okay, come on. The coasters seem to mess with the frame rate a little bit. So there we go. We got everything open. Carbonator's old, so that shouldn't matter. That's not what I wanted. We will go ahead and get our different shops open so we can get people back into the venues. Our facilities, obviously we have to get all these things open as well. There isn't anything that can't be opened, which is nice. Wow, it lost $0. That's great. That's surprising. Monthly running costs, that's going to drop down a lot. Our restaurants, hopefully this is, oh my god, that is so expensive. But we will not worry about it. We don't have any unconnected stuff, and our Vista points are fine. Our security, we are good. Here we have security cameras, that's fine. And you know, I think we're all set. Actually, I need that to be open. So we are going to go ahead and open the park here. Let's get it going. We will welcome cue the large number of guests walking in. Probably the frames will go down. So this is an exciting time. We'll go ahead and fast forward this bit a little bit. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot. We need to pause before. I never changed how much we were charging. So I don't know for each gulp in an adult or teen group, for each child in a family group. Okay, so alright, so let's just try, I guess we should try and do some type of math, because I don't know what I'm doing for this. If you guys know what the best thing is, let me know in the comments, because I am completely lost. I've never been successful at doing this, so it's a good chance the challenge park will lose its $512,000, and will just be a disaster. So let's see here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if we get 11 attractions, we'll say each attraction is $5. And wow, I can't believe I had to use a calculator for that. $55. The children will make $40. And all right, let's see what people start to say about this. We need to do this before we start building. But oh boy, let's slow it down because the frames are going. This guy, looking forward to today for ages. Already down to $32. That's fine. Look at all these people coming in. A ton of people. The idea is we want them to have a little bit of money remaining. So, no thoughts. Everyone seems to be pretty happy with all of this. It'd be nice if some people would come out here and be like, I just want to get in and go to like Fireball or something, but you know, we are getting a ton of people to come in. And our ticket prices, Party Pass, $5. We're not gonna... It's funny how this is still there. Like I said, we should make a ton of money very quickly, getting a bunch of people in. What's this person? This person... No, I don't want Orbiter. We discussed this already. I can't afford the park tickets. Oh, man. What do you mean? You have $62. You're by yourself, aren't you? Yeah, you're by yourself. You can afford it. That's fine. We don't need everyone in here. If you can't afford the park tickets, you won't be able to give us any more money after that, so... You know, that's fine. Look at all these people coming in. This person is the same. We cannot not select the Orbiter. Enough to buy park tickets. 60, 55. You do have enough. That's fine now. You know, chances are those people are going to try and pickpocket people anyway, so we'll get them out of here. And look at all the people just scattering around. Where is everyone going to go first? Is it going to be out to Bubbleshot? It certainly seems like a popular choice. A lot of people, it looks like, going to the Gulpy Speedway. Someone's already in line for the... This guy sprinted to the Gulpy Speedway. You can't... Well, I guess you can go... You can ride by yourself. That's fine, I guess. Yeah, this is the first guy that made it into the park. And he has $32. So that is exciting for him. We do have Fireball, which is starting to attract people. And we are slowly up to 620 people. Not slowly. We are quickly up, and there is no sign of people slowing down. Do you have some people leaving? That's fine, like I said. In terms of all this, oh, it just gave me all the notifications of where everything is at, so I don't really care about those. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at Julianne Rose. And July 9th. June 9th. So in 2 days we can train Julianne up. And this guy can actually get trained. Nicholas Crow, we'll get him up there. So look at all these people. I think I was averaging about 1,200 people before I shut the park down, and I feel like there's going to be more than that here now. So we didn't make nearly as much money as I thought we were gonna. Well, we did make $43,000. So I guess that's something. What kind of marketing do we have? Should we start a marketing campaign? I feel like family is the way to go. That costs $5,000. Low impact marketing, attract more adult groups, ideal for smaller parks. That's not bad. Low impact marketing, attract more families. Divisive appeal. There's more families but fewer teenagers. That actually is probably pretty good. So we'll do that, and we'll do the auto renew on that. That's fine. Families are where it's at right now. It is slowly trickling down quite a bit here. So we have everything. Oh my gosh, Orbiter is killing it. Navigator, killing it. Psychola, nothing. Oh, there's a few people. The kickflip, doing good too. I think multiple rides are a great value. That is the idea. We want them to be happy. We want them to be in line for rides. We don't want them to be turning away because they can't afford rides. We want them to have such a great time so that if they can't get something, they'll go straight to an ATM, take out money, and then go buy it. So I don't expect a lot of money to come in from our shops and stalls at the beginning. Actually, we're going to take auto renew off. We don't want to burn that out right away. But making $60,000 in ride certificates. I don't even know why I wanted to say that. We're making that priority pass sales. We got $20, so we sold 4 of them. We have not sold any hotel rooms. That's fine. That would be expected. Facility sales. We already have people going to the ATM, which is great. We don't have anyone in the restaurant. That is to be expected. We did sell something for $3.25. Our staff wages, you would expect this to be triggered scenery costs. That is, why isn't that costing us anything? We do have triggered scenery. We have no construction, so yeah, like I said, definitely going to make some money at the beginning here. And we still have people flowing in. We certainly want the families to come in. I don't want to click on Orbiter. The one nice thing is, now when a ride breaks, we don't lose any money. People are just going to be disappointed and have to walk away. So, no like major influx of, or loss of money. Oh, look at the carousel line. Holy cow. That is the benefit of having free attractions. Like this thing just, for whatever reason, is just super attractive. The scissor, that's fine, or a carbonator. And the Swift Drifters, how's that doing? That's probably not doing all that great. The carbonator and or Whirlpool, I need to call it by its real name, are not classic status, so that is to be expected. That they will not have the amount of people. This is the longest line we've seen for Vertigo, which is nice because that means the priority pass actually means something. So that's exciting. Everyone is in line, and people are just continuously coming in line. So hopefully this thing, you know, I probably should have refurbished our rides. That would have been really smart to do. But I didn't. So we're going to have to deal with that anyway. So I think, though, we're at a point where we have great park rating. Our guests are super satisfied. We still have some things breaking down. That's fine. They're going to continuously say these rides are a great value, which is fine. No issue there. Make sure this gets full. And oh, it is a full ride, which is exciting. So that should start up immediately. It's great. So, yeah, I mean, we should be set here for the rest of this video. So like I said, the format changed a little bit, so we are going to jump into a time lapse. In this episode, I'm looking to build 2 attractions, and we're not going to do any theming. It's just going to be the construction of the attractions, because I know I took a little bit more in terms of the live portion of this video. But we're going to start to prepare what's behind this wall over here. We're going to do... It's not even career mode, and I still don't know which buttons to click. I fail at career mode. I'm still not hitting the right one. So what we will do, maybe it'll be 3 rides actually, now that I think about it. We'll look to do a Luna Autos, this classic powered track ride. I don't know what that's called. But I don't even know. Classica. We're just going to call it Classica. Get another one of those. And then we are going to build a coaster. And unfortunately, it's not going to satisfy our challenge. We are not going to have inversions on this coaster. We will satisfy this one, I'm sure. And then have 16 people visit your hotels for 3 months in a row. That may be okay now, since people are going to have a little bit more money to spend. But we will also be building, before I get off on too much of a side tangent, let's make this a little bit bigger, make it a little easier to see things. The hydraulic sprint 500. So we're going to continue with our racing theme and our car theme, and we're going to probably have the coaster down in this area, so it'll draw more people over here. We'll have the go-karts, obviously, and then we will have our car ride out in this area, and we'll start to build out on this path as well. So like I said, there's not going to be any scenery that we're going to be doing. We will just be building the coaster and the 2 tracked rides, and we're going to focus on getting them to be very nice, and hopefully I remember to put a POV in at the end. So I hope you enjoy it, enjoy the time lapse, and I will see you. I will be doing commentary, so I'll see you there. Alright, so here we are in the time lapse, and the first thing I really wanted to work on was the terrain for the area. So I don't know if any of you have ever played Need for Speed Carbon, but it's got this like really cool like down the mountain drift style thing, and obviously I'm not going to be able to recreate it with the drifting and whatnot, so I figured why not do the Classica, because I can't say the entire name, and kind of make it like it's just driving on the side of a mountain, and then we'll decorate it up and everything to make it look really good. But so that's kind of the background for this. I tried to mess around with a lot of the terrain. The pathway is gonna go under there, under like it is currently, and this is probably not the final product for this, because you'll see when we get to the end, it kind of won't necessarily fit the whole way. The Luna Autos, though, the idea for this is just to have like this nice kids ride where you can just be along for the ride. It's on the guide rail, which you could certainly take the Classica and consider that a kids ride as well, because it's not going to let you take it off the road. But that one's a little more advanced than the Luna Autos. And I wanted to have a little bit of variation. I wanted to have a little lake thing here, so we just have a little bit body of water that we completely encapsulated, I guess, with the Luna Autos. And I think it'll come out much better once we'll expand it a little bit and have it so that there is like a retaining wall style thing. And then we are building our coaster all of a sudden, and I struggle a little bit with it. I figured, it's not going to be a huge coaster, but I do want it to be smooth, so I was like, yeah, we'll give the 4-meter method a try here for a little bit. And I quickly found out that this style coaster needs a large area to launch, and I don't know if I left myself enough. So I was like, you know what, let's just do this like weird side turn thing. You're starting to see these more and more on coasters, and I think it'll be really cool once we start getting scenery, and as it flies up over this area. You have the car behind it, you have the Luna Auto going underneath and right next to you. There's so much path interaction at this point in the park that I think it's just gonna work. So I mess around with the speed a lot on the launch, and we come up to something that I think is about 59 to 61 miles an hour, somewhere in that that range. And it works. I mean, the stats aren't phenomenal on it by any means, but they're also really not meant to be something that's really outside the ordinary. So I mean, it certainly is going to be the most intense ride in the park for now, and it'll be a nice addition to the park. But I also wanted to keep it to be a little bit different from your standard roller coaster. You know, the tallest point in a roller coaster is going to be in the middle to the end of the attraction. So it's all high speed, low to the ground, tight turns, a lot of force on vertical G's on the turns, which in some cases actually turn into lateral G's. Little airtime pops that certainly did pick up. And then you have your top hat, if you will. It's not even a top hat, it's just an airtime hill that goes over top of the tallest point of the mountain. And, you know, it works out really well. But like I said earlier, we got to a point where we have to interact with the Classica attraction. And I'm not super thrilled with the way it works. So I think that whole little loop where it kind of loops around itself on the Classica attraction is probably just going to disappear. We're just going to take that out completely and just make it just turn and go around the other side of the mountain. So here I am using the heat map to address some of the more unrealistic portions of the ride. One of them actually is that last turn right before launch, which is a little annoying. So that may have to change. We may make a decision to flip that around, but we did add quite a few block sections, and you can see that we're certainly working on the 4-meter method at the moment to smooth out the track. And I do give you a good piece. And actually, while we were looking back there, you could see there were some brakes and some drive tires at the top of the tallest airtime hill. And that is, you actually are starting to see that on some more coasters now. And I can't remember which one. I know like the Skyrocket at Kennywood does, but that also has a brake up there that is there for a reason, because that's a very odd shaped hill. But you know, I was like, I might as well put it up there. It also will act as a dummy brake. So if you think of like a Top Thrill Dragster, the train that launches needs to clear the top before the train behind it can move to the launch section. So that'll actually work as a dummy brake, but we are quickly running out of time. So I'm going to leave you with 2 POVs, one of the seat view and one of the track view, so you can see the difference in the 4-meter method. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.